The planet Thaloria 9 was a glittering jewel in the verdant expanse, home to the Zyrel Dominion, a species as beautiful as they were feared. Their cities floated above the crystalline oceans, structures of light and living crystal, humming with energy that connected every citizen to their queen. Queen Seraphine Zyrel ruled with grace and iron. Her silver-blue skin shimmered in the sunlight, her eyes deep pools of violet wisdom, and her presence alone could calm storms or ignite them. But nothing in her centuries of rule had prepared her for the day her only daughter, Princess Liara, vanished. It happened during a festival meant to honor the unity of the Dominion. Liara had been wandering the gardens of the Sky Palace, chasing the delicate luminescent winged creatures that danced in the air. One moment she was laughing, the next, gone. Search teams scoured every floating spire, every oceanic ledge, but there was no trace. No distress signals, no footprints, nothing. Queen Seraphine sank into her throne, her mind spinning with worry, fear, and rage. "Bring her back," she commanded. No matter the cost. For decades, nothing returned. Liara was lost, and the queen's heart hardened into a cold resolve. She ruled, but a piece of her soul remained missing. Middle, the soldier who crossed the stars. Half a galaxy away, Lieutenant Marcus Hale of the United Terran Federation had become infamous for his daring rescue missions. He had saved colonies from pirate sieges, infiltrated enemy strongholds, and lived when no one expected him to. But his latest mission was the most personal and perilous yet, not for him, but for the people who depended on him. Intelligence had discovered that a rogue faction of alien mercenaries had captured an Zyrel royal child during a covert raid on a minor outpost. Years of investigation, analysis, and desperate tracking led Marcus to a hidden planet shrouded in violet mist, guarded by layers of defensive drones and automated turrets. As his drop pod pierced the thick atmosphere, he felt the familiar adrenaline. He wasn't just rescuing a child. He was about to restore hope to a galaxy and reunite a family torn apart for decades. The base was carved into a mountain, its walls etched with alien symbols and glowing veins of unknown energy. Marcus disabled the outer defenses silently, moving like a shadow. When he found the chamber where Liara was held, he froze for a moment. The young princess, older now than the child remembered in her mother's arms, looked up at him with wary eyes. Her skin still shimmered silver blue, but her hair had grown long, flowing like liquid starlight. Who are you?" she whispered, clutching a makeshift staff she had fashioned from the base's remains. "My name's Marcus," he said softly, lowering his weapon. "I'm here to get you out." Liara's eyes widened. "Out? I've been waiting for someone. I thought no one would come." "You're not alone anymore," Marcus said, extending his hand. "Come on. I'll get you home. Escape through chaos." The alarms screamed moments after they touched down in the escape corridor. The rogue mercenaries were fast, but Marcus had planned for every contingency. He used the base's own defenses against them, hacking turrets and opening bulkheads as he moved. Liara clung to him, her eyes wide and fearful, but she trusted him. Trust had been a rare thing in her life since her capture. They raced through the labyrinthine corridors, pursued by drones that fired laser beams, each strike lighting the walls with streaks of violet energy. Marcus fired back when necessary, taking care not to let stray shots harm Liara. Finally, they reached the extraction point. His dropship's engines hummed, ready for liftoff. But the rogue faction was relentless. A squad of heavily armored mercs blocked the exit, energy blades humming. "Stay behind me," Marcus shouted. He moved with precision, deflecting blades and returning fire, each motion calculated to protect Liara. Despite the danger, she mirrored his movements, ducking, rolling, and even knocking aside one of the mercs with the staff she had made. Her training as a princess, long-forgotten drills in agility and combat, had survived years in captivity. Finally, Marcus activated the ship's magnetic lift. The mercenaries tried to leap aboard, but a blast from the hull stabilizers sent them tumbling back. The doors sealed. They were free. Liara fell into his arms, crying silently. I thought I'd never see home again," she whispered. "You're home now," Marcus said. "And nothing is going to separate us again. Return to Zyrel Prime." The journey back to Zyrel Prime was tense. Liara slept most of the way, exhausted from the years of confinement and the adrenaline of the escape. Marcus piloted the ship personally, navigating through patrols, asteroid fields, and unstable energy storms that could tear a vessel apart. When they arrived at the orbit of Zyrel Prime, Marcus contacted the Queen personally. "Your Majesty," he said through the comm, his voice steady. "I have your daughter." Seraphine's voice came over the line, trembling with a mixture of hope and disbelief. You speak the truth." "She's safe," Marcus said simply. "I'll bring her to you." The Queen descended from her throne room to the landing platform herself. Her eyes widened as she saw the familiar silver-blue figure stepping off the ship, hand in hand with the human soldier who had saved her child. "Liara," she whispered, her voice breaking. The princess froze, unsure if she was dreaming. "Mom!" Liara shouted, running into her mother's arms. The Queen caught her, tears flowing freely down her regal cheeks. She held her daughter as if she would never let go, rocking her gently, whispering words of love and apology. Marcus stepped back, unsure of how to exit the intimate reunion. Liara looked at him, her eyes shining. "Thank you," she said softly, a smile breaking through the years of trauma. Seraphine looked at Marcus, her gaze both piercing and grateful. You have returned my daughter to me. I cannot words, there are no words." "You don't have to say anything, Your Majesty," Marcus replied, bowing respectfully. "She's home now. That's all that matters." The Queen held Liara a moment longer, then turned to Marcus. "You have done what my greatest fleets could not. You crossed the galaxy, faced death, and brought her back. You are more than a soldier. You are a savior." Marcus shook his head. "I only did what anyone would do for someone they care about." Seraphine's lips curved into a faint smile. "Perhaps. But you cared for my daughter enough to risk everything. That is something extraordinary. Rebuilding bonds." In the days that followed, the palace and the planet celebrated. Citizens from every floating city and village gathered to witness the reunion. Music filled the skies, banners fluttered, and stories of the human who returned the lost princess spread across the Dominion. Liara's return was not just a personal victory, it symbolized hope for a species that had endured losses for centuries. The Queen softened, her governance changing as the joy of reunion infused her with renewed energy. Marcus remained with them at the Queen's request, not as a captive or a guest, but as a trusted protector. He trained with the palace guards, shared stories of human ingenuity, and even learned the Zyrel language more fluently than most ambassadors. Liara thrived. She spoke of her experiences, the hardships, the moments of despair, and the courage of the human who saved her. Marcus never left her side, though he gave her room to heal.